Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So in the next few days, I got a really cool lore video coming out, Red Dead Redemption. I think you guys are gonna like it, and I also have a video coming out next week of just me pissing off a scammer. I think you guys are gonna love it. But on today's video, we got a crazy current events video, and for people that aren't familiar with this series, this is a series in which I just react to ridiculous things that are going around while I have some gameplay in the background. Now, this story, you might have heard me talking about this on a stream before, but I decided to make a video on this too. This is such a stupid story, such a ridiculous, dumb thing that people are just freaking out over. You won't believe that this is actually real, and I'm warning you guys, just learning about this story, you might actually lose brain cells because of just how stupid this whole thing is. But this is basically it, is, woman causes outrage after opening sushi restaurant because she's white. Yeah, that's what this is. An Australian woman, she opened up a sushi restaurant in my hometown in New York City. And what ends up happening is a bunch of idiots got together on social media and they tried to cancel her and accuse her of racism, and they accused her of cultural appropriation, which I didn't even know what cultural appropriation was before I actually started reading about this story. But they accused her of that for opening up a sushi restaurant. And this got out of control because she started getting harassed really badly that she deleted most of her stuff on TikTok. She deleted the comments on her Instagram because she was just getting harassed by just so many people, and it was just nonsense. There's no proof that she was racist. All she was doing was she was just making Australian style sushi. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing bad about this. And this poor woman who just started up her business had gotten all this hate for no reason. But anyways, let's read the article here, and I will also link this article down below so you guys can check it out also. Enough is enough. An Aussie woman who set up her own sushi place in New York has been accused of cultural appropriation by some Americans who object to her not being Japanese. Sushi Sheila first gained attention on TikTok after she documented her radical career change from lawyer to sushi maker in New York's West Village. Sushi Sheila's place promises Australian-style sushi, including teriyaki chicken, spicy tuna, and avocado and cucumber for the price of $5 a roll or 3 for $12. The website states, "We do one thing, and we like to think we do it well, Aussie-style hand rolls. We may have had a small footprint here in the West Village, but we have a big dream to make fresh, yummy hand rolls so you can afford every day of the week." Seattle chef Eric Rivera was infuriated with the restaurant and took to social media to accuse Sushi Sheila of cultural appropriation. Rivera wrote, "There aren't enough good sushi places in New York City, so time to open one." So this guy actually deleted this entire thread. The entire thread is actually gone, but basically this is actually what he wrote. But Australian sushi, give me a break, colonizer. Ha ha ha. If you don't see why this is a problem, you are part of the problem. And Elon Musk is here to tell you that it's okay to tell you all it's okay to make sushi anywhere you want, and you should all lighten up. And he also lost a ton on crypto, so please be kind and colonize wherever. Okay, look, first of all, I'm going to say this, is that a colonizer is somebody who goes into another country illegally, takes over their land, and steals their resources. That is what a colonizer is. Somebody who goes into another country, steals their land and their resources. What she is doing, this has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with colonization. She purchased the land, or she rented out the land, and she opened up business. That's what she did. She did not break any kind of laws. She didn't steal from anyone. She opened up her own business. One woman also tried to shut down Sushi Sheila, writing, "Why is someone who is not of Asian descent, better yet from Australia, opening a sushi spot in New York City? The contradiction and cognitive dissonance is maddening. She feels she can't afford decent sushi in New York City, a place that has one of the largest and vastly diverse Asian populations." What? And she's saying, why is someone who is not of Asian descent, better yet from Australia, opening a sushi spot in New York City? Because she can. Because this is America, and you have the freedom to do that. You can open up any kind of business that you want in America. As long as you're not committing any kind of crimes, you can open up any kind of business that you want. So instead, she finances her own sushi spot. Colonization is white and quite scary to see in real time. Oh my god, about this. Okay, so I like history, guys. You guys know I like to read history a lot, and I like to talk about history. One thing that people get wrong a lot is that people seem to think that colonizers only came from Europe, when that's not true. There was other empires that were outside of Europe that also colonized people. But one other thing that people also get wrong is that they think that every single European country was involved in some kind of colonialism, some kind of imperialism, when that's actually not true. There's plenty of countries that were actually victims of colonialism in Europe and actually victims of imperialism themselves. For example, my parents' country, Poland, that's where my parents are from. The last time that Poland had anything of a sort of an empire was in the 16th century when it was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And after that, in 1795, Poland had actually gotten conquered. It got conquered by Prussia from the west, which was the largest German state. It got conquered by Austria from the south, and it got conquered by the Russian Empire from the east. So literally the entire country got torn apart into three different pieces by these three empires. So these three empires, they literally divided up Poland and they occupied it and they stole resources from Poland. Poland was a victim of imperialism. And after that, Poland did not have any kind of colonies. It didn't. Poland was occupied constantly. The only time Poland had a brief window of independence was after World War I, from 1918 until 1939. In 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland, and from one side, the Soviet Union invaded from the other side, and then eventually Nazi Germany took over all of Poland. Then the Soviets came back, they defeated Nazi Germany, and they occupied Poland until the late 1980s. So Poland has been occupied for a huge chunk of its history. And that's not just for Poland. If you look at a country like Greece, for example, Greece got colonized and occupied by the Ottomans, by the Turks. They took over Greece, and they also took over Bosnia. They did take over Bosnia. They took over Albania as well. And you also look into some other European countries. If you look at Croatia and Slovenia, these were two other smaller countries. Croatia and Slovenia, they actually got occupied by the Austrians. The Austrians took them over, stole their land, and then afterwards, the Italians actually, when they defeated the Austrians, actually took over Croatia and Slovenia and then stole their land. So the point that I'm getting at is that there was plenty of European countries that were victims of imperialism, because people think that every single European country was just doing imperialism and had colonies, when it's not true. There was plenty of European countries that were also getting invaded and getting attacked. And the crazy thing is, this whole thing is about sushi. And while this is kind of irrelevant to the video here, I did think I would mention this, that they're getting angry over sushi, which is primarily a Japanese dish, and they're saying that she's being a colonizer. Japan actually was never colonized. Japan actually never got conquered by anyone. The closest that Japan has ever gotten conquered was by the Mongolian Empire, and the Mongolian Empire only took over a few islands, and they never got into mainland Japan because of bad weather and because the samurai had resisted them. In fact, Japan was actually the one who was colonizing other countries and invading other countries, and Japan had one of the most brutal and most powerful empires in East Asia. You know, their empire just collapsed, 70, 80 years ago at the end of World War II. So Japan has had tons of imperialism themselves. And when I'm reading this entire article here, none of these people that are freaking out at this woman and calling her racist are actually Japanese. None of them are. All of these people are not actually Japanese. Sushi Counter was then subjected to countless one-star reviews, with one person writing, "The last thing anyone needs are blonde-haired Australian white women appropriating Japanese culture. We're sick of the disrespect inflicted upon our cultures by white people. Enough is enough." Well, there's no Japanese people that are getting pissed off about this that I see. All these people that are getting outraged on the behalf of Japanese people are not even Japanese. Another wrote, "There are plenty of good, authentic sushi spots in the city. This is a Colonizer sushi spot ran by a woman who thinks she can do better than actual Japanese people." Oh my god. She never claimed that she makes better sushi than Japanese people, and she has labeled her sushi as Australian style sushi. I'll tell you guys something. I'm not a good cook, I'll admit. I kind of suck at cooking, but one thing that I have gotten better at cooking is Mexican food, because I really love Mexican food. And one of my favorite dishes is quesadillas. I love quesadillas, and I've experimented with a lot of different dishes, a lot of different things that I throw into my quesadilla. And one of the things that I've done is I've taken Polish sausage. I've actually cut up Polish sausage, I fried it, and then I throw it into a quesadilla. And so I've mixed Polish and Mexican food. Am I, committing cultural appropriation on Mexican food by doing something like that? No, I like both of them. I like Polish and I like Mexican food. So what's the problem if I mix them, if I make it? There's really no issue. And in the town that I moved to in the Midwest, I was not able to find any kind of Polish restaurants here. I'm a Polish American, but I was able to find one convenience store where there's this Armenian guy that runs it. And the Armenian guy, he cooks Polish food, he cooks Ukrainian food, Belarusian food, Russian food, Georgian food, and Armenian food. And he does make good Polish food too. And is he, committing cultural appropriation on Polish food? No, he's not. That's his business. He's good at it. And here's the thing about this. If another culture is making your food, shouldn't you actually be proud of that? Because it means that other cultures like your food. They like your cuisine. It allows your culture to spread. By allowing other cultures to cook your food and sell your food, that also spreads your culture to other countries. So these people are trying so hard not to be racist, but they're actually ironically being racist by saying that only Japanese people are allowed to cook sushi themselves. It's just idiotic. It's stupid. It's moronic. And guys, I'll tell you guys one other thing. The idiot who started this whole mess, the guy, remember, who deleted the Twitter thread? Well, I actually found his cookbooks online. And guess what? He was actually planning on opening up a Puerto Rican and Japanese restaurant in North Carolina. Eric Rivera is a Puerto Rican American, so he was actually planning on opening up a restaurant that was mixing Japanese cuisine with Puerto Rican cuisine. And not only that, he sells cookbooks with Puerto Rican, Italian cuisine, and also French cuisine, Chinese cuisine, Korean cuisine, Japanese cuisine, Hawaiian cuisine. So he is doing the exact same thing that he was accusing her of. And there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's just making dishes and he's selling cookbooks. But yet he's freaking out at this woman for what? Opening up a sushi restaurant? Who cares? It's not a big deal. If she likes doing it and she's good at making sushi, the place now has 5-star reviews, the sushi place, and he actually ended up giving her a lot of positive attention. So ironically, in the end, it did actually help her business. So now she has mostly positive reviews. Most of the negative reviews have been deleted by Google. But you don't have to be of that specific culture to cook that culture's food. That just... I've never heard of something like that. That's just honestly just so stupid and just so idiotic. But, I wish this woman well, and I wish that her business succeeds. But I'm saying this cancel culture stuff, sometimes this gets completely out of control, and this is just a perfect example of this. Getting pissed off at some woman and calling her a colonizer because what? She opened up a restaurant in which, she paid for the land, she rented out the land, opened up her own business, did not steal from anyone, and somehow she's being accused of being a colonizer. Absolutely ridiculous. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.